Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, best place for long-term stock investors. Election has already been confirmed, right? The date, somewhere in mid-November.
Yep.
And of course, you know, there's a lot of election stocks. One of them is Datasonic. Will be sharing our thoughts on whether or not it's an interesting opportunity for you to take part in. Now, we don't own any shares in Datasonic, and of course, none of what we say should be taken as financial advice. If you want that sort of advice, please speak to a professional. Also, coming on November 3rd, we have a live training just for you if you're interested in learning how you should prepare yourself for 2023 as an investor. As you know, 2022 has been really difficult. We don't want you to continue feeling that pain going into the next year. So hop on to our training. If you're interested to join, you can click on the link in the comment section or the description. Okay, so let's start with the share price action. Datasonic down 36.5%. Hasn't done really well, but here's the key thing. In 2018, right, after the election, the price tanked quite a bit. Definitely more than 36%, if my eyeballs are right. Of course, Datasonic is a stock linked to Barisan Nasional. Right, so obviously this round, Barisan Nasional does not seem as shaky as the previous election. So could this be a boon? Could this be a positive sign for Datasonic? We always want to look at the fundamentals first.
Yeah.
That's the key. Right.
Correct.
So let's look at what does Datasonic do and more.
Okay, so this is some of the fun fact for you guys if you haven't studied Datasonic yet. So their IPO's market cap was trading around like 180 million or about 6 cents per share. So they actually went up, the share price was around 50 cents, right? I think it's around like 8 to 9 times. Yeah, that's pretty impressive already. And they are incorporated way back in 1980s. And before they were called Datasonic, they were actually called Bumi Packaging and Storage Malaysia Sendian Berhad.
Wow, very upfront.
Yeah, and back then they're actually selling like computer-related products and credit card imprinters to financial institutions. But currently, their business model obviously has changed already. And they are the sole provider of the passport solutions to the Immigration Department of Malaysia. And they also make our IC. For those Malaysians, you know already, your My Card and then your Smart Card personalization for credit and debit cards. I
wonder now that more people are traveling, the renewing passports, whether there's like a short-term boost for Datasonic. But
this is the website. Actually, you can have a look at their overview business, what they actually provide. So this is all of the services that they do.
Okay,
so
revenue.
So they categorize their revenue by business into these 4. So initially they have this business called the Smart Card personalization, but I'm not sure whether is it similar to the manufacturing card. Because before that they were making money in the Smart Card personalization, but after that they were not. Maybe I may be assuming, I may be speculating, but maybe the Smart Card personalization is actually the same business as the manufacturing of cards. But if you look at the revenue contribution, right, the most is actually coming from their customized software and hardware solutions. So this is like for their the passport, the renewal passport, the credit cards personalization, all those stuff is all under this category. And another bit is that they also did a few of these investment holdings. I haven't really dug deep what investment holdings are there, but I assume it's like maybe property or even like stocks or tradings or whatsoever.
Fair enough.
Okay,
so margins, interesting that the investment holdings are the highest.
So you can see that investment holdings can be as high as 100%. The reason why it's 100%, I actually included their inter-segment revenue transaction. But in the AR, you notice that they will eliminate the inter-segment revenue, right? They only want to record the external. But in this case, I included it because I think that Datasonic is actually somewhat linked to their suppliers and customers. So meaning that the suppliers will also supply them stuff and also they are the customer indirectly.
But even then also, if you look at the customized software hardware, they are also like pretty high. So one of the first few things I noticed is that it's a pretty high margin business. In general, right?
They are more of a service-based business. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. They don't really have much products.
Right.
Yeah, it's more of like helping them to like renew their passport. I mean, what sort of cost of goods so do you have, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and all the stuff. Yeah,
Interesting.
so margins are high. Okay, this is their customer. They only have one customer. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's a Jabatan Immigration Malaysia. But if you notice, right, their revenue contribution actually has been dropping.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons you cannot deny because of MCO. There's a lot of lockdown, so definitely many people cannot come out and renew their passports or do their IC or whatsoever. But I'm not sure about 2022. I'm not sure what is happening over there. So that is something that you may want to have a look. Like, why is revenue still dropping even though economy is actually now recovering and things are opening up?
Exactly. But one interesting question I have for you is like, what are the others if it's not Jabatan? Because this is share of total revenue, right?
Yeah.
So 2022, it so far has dropped, and this is probably
it's still 60 over percent
right.
Revenue contribution.
But it's what do you call that? 20. This is only based on 2 quarters, right? 2022.
No. 1 year.
Oh, so their financial year end is like in June or?
I cannot really recall, but I think it's somewhere around. Yeah, could be
not December,
around
basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the others typically like that they supply to, or they only have one customer?
I'm not sure whether this is disclosed by them,
but
majority is. If it's not a Jabatan Immigration Malaysia, it's another government sector. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Because heavily, most of their revenue is actually from Malaysia itself.
Of course.
That's why. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, if you didn't know, we have a one-on-one mentorship program where you can apply for, where we level up your stock investing based on tailor-made solutions. If you're interested, you need to apply. Not all of you all will get into an interview. It's only 20% of you all will do it, and even fewer will get to hop on the program. But if you're confident that you can qualify, you can click on the link and fill in your details in the comment section or the description. Okay, so we look at the data, the financial data. So what are we seeing here for Datasonic?
All right. Okay. So it's pretty obvious on surface. You can see that sales are actually not doing well recently in 2021, 2022. As mentioned in the previous slide, where their major customers is actually not really giving that much business to them. But other than that, their gross profit, profit before tax and profit after tax is actually pretty quite, I would say it's pretty decent. Right. And again, because they are in the service-based business, so definitely there's less expenses that's needed to be paid. So it's looking pretty okay. But if you look at their cash versus debt, right? Okay, so one thing that is good about them is that their debt is actually reducing a lot. Yes, but there's actually an uptick in the cash.
Right.
So you notice like cash actually grew from, I believe, around 50 million to up to as high as 120 million. So that is about like 2 to 3 times, 2 to 2.5 times increase. Actually it's not coming from their profit. So that is one thing for sure, because if you notice in the previous slide, right, their profit is actually dropping. I mean, if you look at 2021, 2022, it's around like, I don't know, like 40 million, 30 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually the reason why their cash is actually rising so much is because they actually raised private placement.
Right. And what's the...
they did mention that because of COVID and everything, right? So they need some fund to sustain the business.
Okay, that's something that I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of capex required for the business.
Right, exactly.
Maybe it's just for the government.
Maybe it's for the working capital. I don't know. Maybe for the operating expenses.
Probably the working capital.
But if you look at their cash flow, let's have a look at their cash flow. Okay, so I mean, operating cash flow has been pretty decent. Capex also nothing much, as what you have pointed out. Maybe the fund that is raised is just to pay dividends. I don't know. That's the only thing that I can think of.
But the dividends are dropping as well, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they want to bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems to me like this company has been in quite a secure position, and a lot of people felt like, because they were linked to BN, therefore it wasn't going to be that it wasn't going to be great. But as you can see, this kind of business, they are very much linked to a very key component of our economy, which is, you need your passports and your ICs.
Yeah.
And I think very similar to the Maiji example that I've talked about in this video here.
Yeah.
Where even if a new government comes about, it's going to be quite difficult for them to just change like that, because there's this whole tendering process that they have to go through. And from what I see, it's not like they've done a bad job or anything, right? But certainly it is almost like a very money printing kind of business, because everybody needs to renew passport every 5 years. IC very similar, right? And everybody needs an IC literally to function. So they are very well protected as far as their revenue goes.
But I'm not sure why they are raising money. I mean, that's something that you need to find out. Yeah. Okay, so ROIC, I mean, it has been dropping. Initially, their ROIC has actually have been very impressive. It's like over more than 50%. It's at a point of time. But then it start to trickle down because
I mean, when again you have more or less no competition, or when your revenues are so secure, and then you are in a very service-based, somewhat software-ish based kind of business, you're gonna get numbers like that. Like, you don't have to invest a lot, right? How much in the plastics of the
the plastic and
IC,
the ink,
the ink, or the material. I'm not sure what that material is for your passports. Really, there's not much. If you're enjoying the video so far, remember to like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that whenever new videos pop, you know it fresh. Okay, so here's what we think really of Datasonic and it as a company and as a quote-unquote opportunity, right? So the first one you say here is that, of course, it relies on a major supplier, i.e. the government.
Somewhat,
right? Jabatan Immigration, to be more specific.
That's the customer, and then they also rely on this major supplier called the Data Card Corporation. So the thing about working with this company is that there's actually a certain quota that they need to hit in order to renew this contract. And it's actually quite difficult to replace this supplier. So in a way, Datasonic is somewhat tied with this major supplier, which is the Data Card Corporation. So they have to really maintain relationship with them. If they suddenly didn't manage to do that, I think it'll be a trouble for Datasonic.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And the third point is that, of course, it's a highly politically linked company.
Of course.
They have a lot of letter of awards need to be obtained from the government, and that's how they actually make more money, put it that way. Fourth thing is that they are exposed in a lot of foreign currency exchange because they need to import a lot of materials outside, and those materials, when they purchase, right, is actually denominated in USD. And the money that they are generating is in Malaysia ringgit. So when USD strengthens, means lesser profit.
So I know there's one thing that So this one is something that we discovered, right? Thanks for staying all the way until the end. So you get to see this, right? Shareholding.
So interesting shareholding is that initially this company was majorly held by this company called the Dibena Enterprise, and it's actually, if I can recall correctly, is the managing director's indirect holdings through this company. But then they start to don't know what happened, but they start to reduce their stake, and then in the end they didn't hold anything. But the managing director, which is Abdul Hanifa bin Nordin, you can see that. Okay, so you can see that his shareholdings is also have been dropping quite a bit from 2019 15% to as low as 1% to 2020. So I'm not sure why is he suddenly.
Even Mr. Chew Ban Ban as well.
Chew Ban Ban. And Mr. Chew Ban Ban is actually a deputy managing director to Mr. Abdul Hanifa. So his stake also, but it's quite recent only His one is dropped from 15 to 8%, and then there's a lot of random names suddenly appear out of nowhere when I was studying.
But I don't know. I mean, outside Tabung Haji, obviously.
But then Tabung Haji also, I don't see their name in after the next few years already. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, like exchange here and there, shifting shareholders kind of thing.
Right. So this is, I wouldn't say it's questionable, but certainly something for you to ask yourself, what's all this about? And of course, we can't do it in one video. Right. Research is a very long process. I know a lot of y'all give really good feedback, and sometimes you'll say we missed this out and all that. And we thank you for that. But also do take note that there's only so much we can do in a 15-minute video. And guys, wait, is there more?
Yes, there is.
Yes, one more, right?
So the last bit is actually legal battles. If you don't know, they actually did a battle with Huawei. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So this is way back in 2011, right? The thing is that Datasonic actually filed this. They actually sued Huawei for breach of contract and partnership agreement.
Okay.
So basically, they say that, hey, you guys actually are undermining the amount of accounts and interest and costs. But then Huawei countersued them because of defamation, and they actually countersued about 30 million. And in the end, unfortunately, Datasonic lost. Huawei actually won it. However, the counterclaim was dismissed. So means in a way, they don't need to pay I believe they don't need to pay the 30 million defamation, but there is like some legal costs they still need to bear. They have to pay. But that doesn't stop there. So in financial year 2018, another company, which is the Percetakan Keselamatan Nasional Sedia Berhad, PKN, they actually did a summon again, Datasonic again. In the end also, the judgment favor PKN and Datasonic have to pay 15 million. And they did mention that this about 10 million or so is going to be financially impacting their statements in the future financial year end.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is they say that if they ever lose the court case. Yeah, because right now they're actually appealing it. So it's still in like fighting phase. Yeah, we still don't know yet. Still pending.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we will be it'll be interesting to see how it happens. And yes, anything else?
Nope.
All right, guys. So hope you found the video useful. We are trying to start this like mini election series that hopefully can shed some light on the different companies that are linked, that politically linked. And if you know someone who's a Datasonic shareholder or wants to become one, please send them this video. And looking forward to seeing you in the next one.